Hey Misha, you've now chosen what you want to do, got yourself into a creative field, and it suits you. You do a great job at whatever you do. And the thing I wanted to talk to you about is how people consistently romanticize doing what you're passionate about as your career. You don't have to work a day in your life, yada yada yada. But not every passion turns into your profession, and that's fine. The thing that you really need to be mindful about is that a lot of things that we do out of vulnerability, like I make videos, my videos come from a place of vulnerability and expression. When I play an instrument, that comes out of vulnerability and expression. It's really important that you protect those things about yourself. The world usually doesn't care about what you're doing, especially like in a capitalistic society. They don't really care about what you do for expression, what you do for your well-being. So you have to be very mindful of the spaces you put yourself in. I've seen people who create content, and I do that too, right? This basically counts as content creation. But when you put a deadline on those things, right, I need to put out this video by X amount of time, it just makes it worse. There's someone in the class. So I'm just cleaning the table. And that just puts a lot of pressure on you to do better, be better. And sometimes better is not what you want. I had a friend who is an amazing musician, and he's self-taught, so he never really learned music like we did. And I kind of realized that he used to enjoy music way more than I did, because he just did whatever he liked and he was good at it because he just taught himself. And because he could retain and protect the joy he got out of making music and playing music, he's happy doing that, And I, on the other hand, like really got into learning music, right? Because at some point I was like, maybe I wanted to take this up professionally when I was younger, but that killed the joy of whatever I was doing. You will not always find great teachers, and that's unfortunately the truth. Which means that you will not always find people who will protect your passion for things for you. You have to do it yourself. Check again. There's no one there. So, how do you protect yourself? Be able to distinguish between now I want to learn and upskill, and now I'm doing this just for the love of it, So when you're trying to upskill, you know that you're open to constructive criticism. So mic, it keeps beeping. You know that at that point of time, you're open to constructive criticism. So surround yourself with people who can give you good constructive criticism. I have a hard time like just throwing advice away. Oh, this is not useful for me. So I kind of realized that it is a mode that a person has. There are days when you're just doing something for expression and you really don't want anyone's opinion on it. Which is why I have also now realized that people don't want my opinion on how to make things better. And which is why I now ask, hey, are you open to advice on it? Or are you open to discussion on this? Do you want to know how to make this better? And sometimes people just say, no, I'm not in a space for that. This is just expression. And that's great, good for them. It saves me a lot of time, saves them a lot of time. And when you are just doing it for expression, just make sure you're mindful of the people you surround yourself with. People who aren't trying to put you down, to people who aren't trying to make something else out of you. I still developing this skill now, because I have a hard time telling people that maybe I don't want advice from you. So if you can't do that, there's a lot of mental training that's involved, right? Because then you need to shut your brain off. You have to be like, whatever they say, no matter how good it sounds, right now I'm not in a space to take this advice. I can note it down for later on whenever I want to improve, but on this piece I don't want any criticism. It's just raw, unfiltered expression, and you need that. Recently I was editing a video and I spent hours editing it, okay, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. YouTube was glitching. It was all sorts of annoyance. But then I just put it out there because I don't know what I was trying to achieve through it. I just enjoyed doing the thing that I was doing. It was the relationship agreement video, and I was enjoying making it. I was enjoying the whole idea behind it, the process behind it. But I don't know why it just struck me that, oh, maybe people who don't like me will watch the video and find faults in it. Who cares? They didn't make the video. They didn't have the idea. I can perfect on it later on. And I know there are like legal things behind it, a lot of like social media things that once you put something out there, there's, you cannot keep putting the same kind of thing out there. But that advice, that whole thing about this could be better, can be applied in the next project. Not every project has to be perfect. It just has to be there. Learn when to give up. It helps. There's a lot of advice in this video. Did you need advice today? You didn't, no? You knew all of these things already, no? It's out there. It's gonna help someone.